Okay. Good afternoon. It's 4 o'clock, and we're convening the Environmental Advisory Committee. It's Thursday, March the 12th, and I want to acknowledge that the press and public were fully duly notified of the meeting in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act. Our first item is approval of the previous meeting's minutes, which was from February 12th last month. Did everybody get a chance to read the minutes?
I have one thing.
One
edit.
Okay.
Under the motion of discussion of tracking ponding at beach access for South Carolina Aquarium, after significant, I think, flooding needs to be added in that third line of the motion.
Okay.
So it reads, in the three, we're talking about where signage is going to be, including the 3 beach access paths with the most significant flooding as determined by the city.
Okay, so just add significant flooding.
Yeah, flooding
Okay,
is kind of missing there.
okay. Are there any other edits or addendums? Okay. All right, does anyone want to go ahead and make a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting?
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the February 12th meeting.
Is there any more discussion? Okay,
There's a second?
is there a second?
Second.
Okay, and those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we've passed the meetings. We don't have any citizens' comments, and we don't have any presentations, so we're going to move into new business. Susan has a brief discussion of a native tree guide that Sullivan's Island has developed, that they have graciously allowed us as Isle of Palms to adopt and tweak to fit our specific island topography and fauna and flora. So go ahead, Susan.
Yeah, and actually, the guide is beautiful, and it's another, if you look in your packet, I've kind of outlined some bullet points about it. Aaron Stevens with Circulus Landscape Architecture Firm worked on this with Sullivan's Island, and she happens to have grown up on Isle of Palms, which is a nice little connection, and her parents still live in Wild Dunes. And it's a 70-page guide to native trees that they have put together, and the link is in the pack, in that sheet, for you to look at. It's online for Sullivan's Island. They have just finished it. So they haven't really promoted it quite yet. Oh, there it is, up on the screen. And
Okay.
are you able to scroll up to show more of it, possibly? Because it's really, really helpful. They put a lot of effort into it. And actually, most of it, if you remove the introductory 4 pages, can really just be applied to Isle of Palms. It's a very similar setup. They do break it down into different zones, island zones, to tell which trees will do better in which zone, among other things. So if we just remove the first 4 pages, which a lot of theirs is driven by their ordinances, and their ordinances are different. If you remove a certain kind of native tree, you have options of other native trees to replace them with. I think on Isle of Palms, we're more an expectation that you replace a tree with the similar or the same native tree. So just wanted to bring this to you, and with hopefully your blessing to move forward with this project, which is kind of a win for everybody and easy for us to take advantage of with their blessing. So.
What do you do with this, I guess, is once it's a finished product?
It can be posted, I would think, in order to, so we don't have, we're not cutting down trees to do printing. I think it could very possibly be something digital, and that could be posted online with, under the IOP.net website and available to the public.
As you can see, this is posted online already on Sullivan's website. So we could definitely do that with just a different introduction on our website.
Right.
I mean, we might consider doing a small number of copies down the road, but I think it would be great to quickly get a new couple intro pages on this so that it can be available at the event that's coming up, and we can promo it with a QR code to get the people there.
So let me ask you differently. What's the use case that would most commonly drive somebody to open this document? What do you anticipate that being?
This is an excellent guide for anybody wants to landscape with native trees.
Okay, so it's a landscape design kind of a supplement.
It's not
Well,
so
not
much
design,
of
but
a
a plant
design,
list.
but a guide to
A guide
selection.
Yeah.
to selection.
Yeah.
Yeah, for somebody going into landscaping or redoing landscaping. Okay.
Yeah. And one aspect is, I think you'll see there, it also, maybe it's, pairs well with, it gives other native plants that would go well with the tree that are maybe lower, flowers and bushes.
Yeah,
It's really
Okay.
got a lot of good information, so.
I guess I would add that from my perspective, I do know that in the building department zoning with permitting, the first 4 pages, we have, and it's nothing like this, but we have just tree preservation guidelines that talk you through, if you have a construction project coming up, this is how you deal with the city zoning code.
okay.
So.
There's some mitigation language in here. I saw
Yes.
that. That does look helpful.
So,
Yeah.
so that
All of it
is
does.
something that we have now that, I think that kind of every building permit applicant gets that, probably, most of them deal with trees, so I don't know that that's really the target, but we know that in our office, just that guidance is pretty widely used, and it's several a month at least
Okay.
get picked up.
I didn't know if I wasn't sure if we were going in this direction. We had talked at one point about doing sort of like a tree inventory, like the natives or the oaks or whatever, and being able to track how many of the oaks, do we have and where are they and kind of what's their health status or something like that. So sort of a catalog of what's on the island. I wasn't sure if that's where this was going. This is just more informational as people that are thinking about putting
Yeah.
things in.
Right.
Plus, what Douglas just mentioned, there is some mitigation language, like how do you solve for, challenges if you're doing construction and you have these trees on your property already?
Yes, if they could direct towards this resource as during that process, I think that would be
Yeah.
amazing. And then you could definitely work with social media and on the website, play it up to get people there.
I mean, you could always add to it, though, to include if we ever do an inventory. That would be kind of cool
Yeah,
to know how many
Yeah.
of these we
Yeah.
have on the island.
yes.
So this would be for a down the road
Yeah.
project.
And there may be, I mean, to add those 4 pages, I did mention, Circulus has been very gracious and was the one who brought this to my attention when I was asking about some other resources that they had. We may need to come up with some funding to give to them to help us adapt this, but I think it should be somewhat minimal. We're just talking about the first. We could probably do it in 2 pages instead of 4,
And then
honestly.
who would be the owner of, if we have a link on the website for making sure it's updated or, any changes that are needed?
I guess Josh
Josh would.
would be. I would think it would be a somewhat static document that wouldn't necessarily need too much tweaking, except for that intro if you had changes
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
ordinances.
the first 4 pages would be, we're similar in concept, but it's completely different.
I would think they'll give us, I would think they would hand it over to us, something that we could adapt if we needed to make small tweaks in, and then turn it into the PDF that you're seeing.
Okay.
Very nice.
One more element, the microclimate for this is specific. I know it's first 4 pages too, but it's got like the maritime forest, which is unique for Sullivan's.
We
How,
actually have some maritime forest here.
but how would we get the same sort of layout for Isle of Palms? Like how would we, that information is probably somewhat specific
Yeah.
to the island. How would we get that information?
The,
The microclimate, like they've got a estuarine ecosystem, a mesic ecosystem, like, sort of mapping out the back of the island is, this, and then the middle is this. They have maritime forest on the front of theirs between the
Yeah.
beach and the property. We don't really have that between the beach and the
We
homes.
do have that around in the 50s. There is kind of a maritime
That's
forest
true,
area.
yeah.
So I think, there, we don't have a lot of, as much as Sullivan's. They conveyed to me that really there's not that many differences between Isle of Palms and Sullivan's. There may be some small things we might need to tweak in that area, understanding your microclimate, but I don't think too much. And Erin is familiar, having grown up here and
Yeah.
seeing her parents.
Okay,
Okay. All right.
thanks.
Then let's move to old business. We have an update, I have an update on the cost of the Sea Rise sign project because we wanted to make sure we knew. The cost for the signs, each sign is $35.40. And that, however, does not include the post that you would be attaching it to. Sarah told me that if we did a 2 to 5 day shipping of the signs, there would be no charge for shipping. So in chatting with Robert quickly, I think we were talking about 5 signs total. Was that correct?
Yeah.
And Robert said that the posts would probably be about max between $12 and $15 each. So we'd be looking at a total potentially of around $252, which was well below our $800 max that we had set up. So I'd like to find out if we can make a motion to move forward with purchasing the signs and getting them installed. And we had talked about, I think there were, I've got it, we were going to do Palm between 38th and 41st Street, Myrtle and 19th, and then I think were there 3 areas kind of under the bridge, Douglas, that you were thinking of?
Palm,
Palm and,
Palm 38th, Myrtle, and then I think it was 3 beach exits.
Beach access.
oh, 3 beach accesses.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I'd like to find out if we could make a motion to move forward with this. Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to move forward with the signs.
Okay, any
I'll
more
second.
discussion?
Wait, do we need to do that since we voted on it at last?
Well, we voted for the funding, but we
Okay.
wanted to confirm the total amount before we actually did the project.
Okay.
So I'm just wanting to make sure we are all on the same page. Okay, so Britton has made any more discussion that we need? Can I have a second?
Well, Mr. Murphy seconded.
Seconded.
Oh,
Okay, great. All right, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Great, all right. I'll let Sarah know. Douglas, as far as the funds, should you reach out to her as far as ordering the signs, or should Robert?
Can you do that? Yeah, we'll do that. And I think we, just, and it's really a matter of just business. I mean, this group is a advisory group. You don't actually have purchasing power. This is an amount that falls within, I think, Robert's sign budget.
Okay,
So that he can make that judgment to, if it were a larger amount, you all would be making a recommendation to
that
city
would go to,
council.
yeah, to go to council.
But this is such a small
Small
amount
amount.
that it's within a budget that we can just make that happen. So the, just kind of a procedural point, but I think that Robert can make that happen.
Okay, all right, great, thank you. And then Susan has an update on our interpretive sign project. She actually brought some
Yes.
finished signs.
I think you guys have seen them, but here's an example of the Sea Salt Marsh Creature signs. They're in, they just came in a few days ago, and Robert and Public Works are gonna help us get them up at the public dock, so that's exciting. We'll maybe go ahead and figure out a spring date for a ribbon cutting once we've got them in place and we know that they're right with the right posts and that everything comes together. And I have emailed Josh about the corresponding sign on the page on the website that supports, we talked about sharing the PDFs in case people want those to look at, and, the information that's going to go on that, sharing resources and background on how the project came together.
So are we still waiting for some of the bigger signs to come in, or is everything
No,
in?
they're all in. I think you just,
Okay.
Everything's in,
right?
I just-
Just heavy.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. The big
And
ones.
a big crate that had to be forklifted over to.
Oh, okay.
Public
All right.
Works, so.
So are we looking at maybe at end of March, early April? What's your schedule like, Robert? Is April
Trying
going to be
get it done
better?
As quick as possible. We're doing a bunch of signs around the city, so we can just incorporate that. I'll have to get with you, Susan, just for the exact placement.
Yeah.
But I haven't opened up the box with all the hardware yet, just to kind of see how interesting that's gonna be to put together, but.
Hopefully
it
it's
shouldn't
not
be a
that
big
hard. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other
Susan,
thing.
which one, there was some sponsor recognition. Were they just on the larger signs?
They are
Yes.
just on one cornerstone
Okay.
sign. And that sign has a QR code that would go to the page on the website. And one other cool thing was that Tammy from the rec department has already put together an event in the fall to encourage people to come. And she's arranged for 3 speakers to help guide people through the signs. One from Barrier Island, one from, I think, Holy City Birding, and the Turtle Team, so that they can more expertly, talk about the subject matter that is offered. So,
That's cool.
yeah, I think that's in October sometime. But maybe down the road also, I think it's worthy of consideration to do some kind of bigger salt marsh celebration. The marina, the Islander 71 said that they would maybe allow their space to be used, and maybe we could talk them into putting out some finger food or something, and
Okay.
inviting some guests.
Okay, great. All right. And then you also have an update on the Mujeres Latinas signage for the cleanup station?
Yeah, so I've got with Katrina Limbach from the Beach Chair Company and a co-founder of Isla Palms Cleanup Crew, who created a lot of our branding and the toy bin sign that we had already at Front Beach. And she came up with this right off the bat. I think we're going to adapt it so it's a horizontal 8x12 sign. And given the comments, the feedback that you all had about the other sign maybe being a little confusing, I think we can just go with this and cover everything in one sign. It'll be bigger. And so is going to pass that around. She just needs to adjust it, and I think I've crossed out part that I think was repetitive, and we'll just go with thank you at the
So instead of
end.
having the 2 signs, we're just going to go with
Just one.
just the one?
Yeah, I
Less is
thought that
more.
might be preferable, if there was, feelings about the other sign being confusing, so.
Looks good to me.
That's it. Yeah, so once she gets back with that design, it'll take a couple weeks for it to be
That's-
ordered. And
yeah.
so it may, at this rate, be beginning of April that we get this toy bin and the cleanup station out there.
Okay. All right. Yay, we've got lots of time now. We're going to discuss now our participation in the Hurricane and Resilience Expo. And thank you for everyone to have sent me your areas of interest. I know Eric is kind of willing to jump in wherever he's needed.
Yep.
Which is great. And so actually, and Sean wanted to focus on composting, correct? And do we know
I think-
about the compost
I think we have
bins?
placed an order for composting for like thousands of compost bins. So
Okay.
I think we'll have plenty
Plenty?
to
Okay.
give out.
Great, all right. And actually, So Britton and Cindy sort of had a similar, because Britton's interested in exploring, native grasses and plants that can help stabilize sand and building the dunes, best practices for coastal communities to protect and expand the footprint of dunes and native grasses, and how plant systems influence sand accumulation, storm resilience, and long-term erosion mitigation. And Cindy wanted to do a little of that, but also discuss safe pesticides and herbicides, and the use of organic materials instead of glyphosate. And actually, I reached out to Blair Amon and asked her to pull together a lot of the information that she has done on her research about glyphosate so that she can help provide that information to us at the table. And she said she would be willing to do that. But then Cindy also wanted to do native solutions to prevent beach erosion, grasses, vegetation, and fencing. So I'm thinking the two of you. And I mentioned SASME, which is our South Atlantic Salt Marsh Initiative, which we joined actually last year. And they have a lot of information about native plants and ways to shore up vegetation along our coastline. And then I was going to look back through my notes. Nicole Elko sent a PDF of all of the presentations that were done at the Beach Advocates meeting the conference that was down in Hilton Head at the end of January. And there were several communities that had presentations about work that they've done with native grasses and plants to shore up the shorelines. So I'll get you both that. And
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So has that ever been part of the beach renourishment? Like, has that ever been recommended by coastal engineering or?
Yes.
We have to
It
get
has.
We have to have enough sand.
The
first.
sand naturally,
Or-
I'm
helps.
thinking like right after
If we
you
do it-
renourish, when you have maximum amount of sand.
Yes, we do that, right? I mean, we have done it before. The problem is, like, if we did it now, it would just get washed away.
Right.
So the key is to do it when it's gonna stay.
Is that not part of the budget for the renourishment, is to do the
I
retention
don't
plants in the dunes, or is it raw sand?
So it is
Is it
a
part of-
separate part, the contractor would be different, it is in the budget, but it is not part of the project that is out to bid now.
Okay,
So it is a second contractor, second RFP, kind of second full process to do that.
yeah.
But it is contemplated, I think it's actually required as part of the project.
But it's also, the city has to do that under permit, right? That's not something property owners that are beachfront can do.
That is
Right.
correct. You can do it up to a certain line.
Yeah, a setback or whatever it's called.
I think everywhere where you would want to do it would be beyond, seaward of that line. But,
Yeah,
yes, you generally need permits from the state to be able to do that.
yeah. So this would be more for people that are, the erosion could be anywhere on the island, but maybe the back of the island retention,
Yeah, back of the island, middle of the island, you could always, and they're very quick, no permit is super quick, but that is a relatively easy permit to get.
Well, I
If an
guess I
owner
meant-
wanted to do that.
no, I guess, if there's a focus during the expo on using plants to retain dunes, prevent erosion, that would not apply to the public dune. That would apply to homeowners doing things in their yard to deal with local erosion or whatever. Right?
There are examples of owners who have gone and gotten their own permits to do it on their own dunes,
Is that right?
including, and that we get into this pretty frequently, but that oceanside dune,
Yeah.
that, we go over the beach access and we're out on that, and the kids are out running right in front of it, that is technically private property until you get to the hard packed sand. So that part of the dune is privately held, and owners have, it doesn't happen frequently, but
Yeah.
owners have actually gone through the process to get approval to plant on those dunes.
So you need a
City-
permit or approval from city or both?
A permit from the state.
A permit from the state?
Yep.
Wow.
When it's done as part of the renourishment, it's part of our permit, and we do it
But
separately.
of the 32 million or 22 for Wild Dunes, that's not part of that. You guys have not included that? Okay.
There is I don't know, actually.
Okay.
I think there's 800,000 in soft costs that are in there that I think that might be in that amount. It might be. It's relatively cheap, I will say. I feel like we actually had it budgeted for the last time after we did emergency work. Unfortunately, the dune was going quicker than we could get people out there to do the work, but I think it was in the neighborhood of kind of $50,000 to do the entire emergency berm, which was many blocks. I mean, it was 12 blocks of dune, so
So there's
a lot of
kind of a
vegetation.
sense of urgency, right? Because if we do this in the spring or early summer, you'd want to do that right away.
yes, and we will do it as part of our project to the dune that gets built as part of the city and the Wild Dunes project.
I mean, there is a part of people's property that they could plant.
Yes. Yep.
If it's
That was the
there,
aha for me.
like
I didn't know
there on
that.
the property,
Yeah, I didn't
where
know
they
that. That
could be
was-
And, and then that might help if the ocean comes back up where we don't want it, that might help,
To kind of explain this thing of part of this is private property.
right?
You could also encourage on the other side of that dune. I mean, a lot of people are like coming up as far as possible to have a lawn.
Yep.
I mean, you could encourage
That's,
more
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
native
like,
planting on the opposite side as well.
Instead of having, just.
Putting greens.
Yeah.
Playing croquet.
Yeah, like lawns. I mean, some people, it's like
Yeah.
very
To
manicured
have
lawn.
an area where you would have some of these.
Yeah,
Yeah.
grass,
Yeah.
COs.
Grasses,
Can you do
COs.
fencing? The fencing that retains the sands, are you allowed to do
That's
that?
another one that requires a permit, but it's easily granted. In years prior, the city has actually gotten a blanket permit for entire areas. So, yes, sand fencing is a popular one, but it does need approval.
Were you also interested in the salt marsh side of things where maybe it's a little more easier and doesn't require permitting for people around the water to plant native plants and grasses that will,
Riparian buffers, we
Yeah.
call them.
I mean, I was
Yeah.
thinking more the beach, because we're spending so much money to do this.
Yeah.
Like, let's get as much life out of it as we can, and a lot of the other communities, it is part of what they're doing. They're doing the sand fencing and the plantings right after the renourishment.
yeah.
Can we get blanket permits and then use the event to promote the fact that there's a blanket permit? Because that's a newsworthy thing to promote.
Yeah.
Probably not until after,
Probably not,
until after the project.
yeah.
Can we get approval now to have the permit open once the project's complete?
We do have it is in our permit for the renourishment project to do planting in the area that gets renourished.
But can
So
we
that-
get a blanket permit for homeowners who want to do sand fencing?
Sand fencing, in
Sand
addition.
fencing in addition. It sounds like they don't need a permit. It sounds like the plants is already taken care of. It sounds
Yeah.
like the sand fencing would be something that there's precedent for that the city's not going to do. But if you could get a blanket permit with a window that opened up after the project,
After the
you could
project.
use the May event to promote that. And then educate people on sand fencing.
We probably could.
That's a great
Yeah, that's
idea.
I mean, it's generally kind of a 30-day
Okay.
process.
I mean, if I lived there, I would want to do everything I could. Once that sand came back, I would be planting sea oats and doing fencing and everything I could do.
So is that something we could pursue now
Now?
and then kind of have a green light by the April meeting?
I don't think, you wouldn't have I don't know that you would have a permit you wouldn't have authorization by the April meeting. I think that if somebody were able to file an application, and maps, it's plans, it's an entire thing to submit. And then you have to give notice, you have to advertise it. I mean,
Big
it's
thing.
20 hours of work for somebody to get the permit application in, then it's probably between 4 to 6 weeks for the review and the issuance of the permit.
But we wouldn't need it for the April meeting, we would need it for the May event.
Yeah.
We just need
It's the
it as
approval.
early
Yeah.
before the meeting to know
Yeah,
the
right.
the event that we have it.
We'll have and we won't have our, the event is before our May EAC meeting, so.
But I guess what I was saying is we could build in, like, that's gonna be part of what we
I mean,
present.
yeah, yeah.
And if it doesn't get approved, we pull it out, but
Yeah.
we could be prepared to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, you could pivot to how to apply for the permit or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like kind of a how-to.
But keep the plant concept in, since it's just in time for that. Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
What are we promoting exactly? Are we promoting for the homeowner to do the work? Are we promoting resources to be able to purchase it and have it done? Like,
I think
Yeah.
you're promoting the fact that, hey, homeowner, you can do this.
You can do
And,
this.
and you can do it without needing a permit. Well, you can do it with a blanket permit that the city's granting you between this date and this date. And maybe like even some references or, I mean, because I think that's the daunting part. I mean, putting up a sand fence, you could probably just call a number of people, but navigating a permitting process that apparently takes a month seems daunting.
Yeah, I can just tell you, quite frankly, I think I would be the only one in the office that's done it before. Between now and your expo, I mean, we have budget, project, 140 easements. Like,
You guys are busy?
the likelihood of me having 20 extra hours to dedicate to getting the permit is probably remote.
Okay.
But it's, I mean, at some point, and I just don't know that timeline adds up. I mean, I don't know that we would be finished with the project until like July. So maybe it could be promote the benefits of it, talk it up, it's a thing, it would work nicely with the renourishment, and not get it to a point where we're saying, hey, we think the city will provide this blanket
But we could at least let
permit.
people know that.
It's a thing,
And there has to be permitting, and
yeah.
that would be coming.
We're working to help them, yeah.
Yeah,
They
to
don't have
at
to do
least
it
let them
individually.
know that is part of the process before they could do it.
Yeah, and there's a very nice publication provided by BCM, How to Build a Dune, goes into all of the detail of how you construct these
There you
things.
go.
And, I think it's a pamphlet that they actually printed. It's also available in PDF, but there's a lot of good information out there about the benefits of them, how to do it.
And BCM stands for what again?
That's the new acronym for OCRM,
Oh.
Bureau of Coastal Management.
Okay,
And we expect homeowners to build these dunes? I mean, you're gonna do some of it, but they need to do it too, or?
We,
Who
the
has
city will
responsibility?
build the dunes as
Yeah.
part of the renourishment project. City is committed to installing vegetation. City is not, city does not have on its work plan to install sand fencing. I will also just say, there's a little bit, and I don't pretend to be a coastal expert, but there are some pros and cons to sand fencing. We do hear about the fact that they're too far out, they become, and we do know they become debris in the surf. They also have challenges in terms of where you want to build the dune. You put it too far out, it's subject to, so I will just say, I don't know that it's universally known as it's a great thing kind of everywhere. There's a little bit, I think there is a little bit of art to where they make sense, where they are really beneficial. I think that between 21st and 41st, there's a massive dune there from where sand fencing was put in after Hurricane Hugo, and it worked tremendously. I mean, it clearly did a great job, but then there are just a lot of other places in erosional areas where it ended up being in the surf and tangled up in, docks and everything else, kind of became became,
More of a problem.
More of a
yeah.
problem.
It hasn't always been, especially in erosional parts of the beach, sand fencing is something that just can become a hazard. Where vegetation, I think there's no downside to that. If it floats away, it's not a problem, doesn't become debris.
And they need permits for vegetation, so you said they need to get permits.
We will have, so vegetation, if it's part of our project, if it's touching our project, it will be covered.
Right.
We will do it.
But if it's
Anywhere else,
On
anywhere,
property, okay, they have to do it.
yeah, anywhere outside of our project, but within the state's jurisdiction, which is a map online, owners could do it with a permit if it's in the state's jurisdiction, or without a permit if it's outside their
And Douglas,
jurisdiction.
I had talked to a homeowner who, just a couple of days ago, who said he could not find sea oats. He was really having a hard time. And so I don't know if there's a scarcity out
I
there.
don't know. I had not
or,
heard that.
Just FYI.
Okay. And Charlotte and I are sort of overlapping because Charlotte wants to focus on native plants and pollinators. And again, I was going to have Blair, the overlap with the glyphosate issue, and we can have that information. And you said a leave no trace display?
Yeah.
Is your cleanup crew gonna have anything?
Yes, we'll have a table there.
Okay.
So we could maybe incorporate
Yeah, I
your,
think I said something about the cleanup crew.
Yeah, you said share information.
Oh, it does, yeah.
Yeah.
and we'll, so yeah,
And-
we'll do
yeah.
a table.
Is Turtle Team going to have a booth?
I don't know. I haven't talked to Mary.
If not, we should do something.
Yeah, you had mentioned that too. I'll have to check with Mary. And then microplastics, that's, the microplastics that are ending up in our water and everywhere. And I like this, there's a Beat the Microbead app that has a QR code. And it allows people to scan their personal care products to check for hidden plastics.
Oh, that's cool.
And a decomposition timeline demonstrating how long it takes for plastics to decompose.
Nice.
And
That-
I was going to, this is all great, and we could overlap with, because I've already talked to Charlene, and I was going to get plugs of native plants that we can have at the booth. I also, I wanted to revisit, and have my mosquito dunk, which again ties in with not using the herbicides and pesticides. Because that was a big hit at the farmers markets when I headed out last summer. And also, I wanted to have information on septic health and how to keep your septic system working properly so it does not create issues.
Aren't we next to a native plant?
Yes,
Tent
well, it's
booth?
going to be, the Native Plant Society is going to be next to us, yeah. So we can kind of
Leverage that?
leverage that, yep. I'll check with Mary about, but I think they'll probably have a turtle team there.
Did you get my email? What?
Yeah, I
things?
did. Did I print it out? Probably not.
I
Go
mean, I don't
ahead.
know.
So you were going to do,
Well, we can easily make prints of these
oh,
signs.
the signs, that's right, the
And
signs,
do a
yeah.
booth on tidal salt marsh and waterway ecosystems. We might need, it would be best if we could print and laminate, not all of them, but key ones on the salt marsh and maybe some of these. And then, and maybe I've already got one on the birds. I've already got one of the bird signs printed and laminated. And we can give those to the rec department afterward for their use. And I was also interested, well, native trees can coordinate, we can talk about that, have a display that gets people to the guide, hopefully. And native plants, I like the idea of blanket the island with blanket flower marketing campaign, with, if all the plugs were, most of the plugs were blanket flower. If that, we could do a little, that would be, and then maybe, what do you all think about the idea of having a native gardening landscaping contest for IOP residents and businesses that we kind of kick off there with the idea that at some point in the summer, we have some judging and announce some winners to get people motivated and celebrate the people who are already doing some of these things, not necessarily expecting that all of their yard is native plants, but looking for people who are incorporating those things.
Will we have a sign up then for people to sign up to participate?
Yeah, kind of, we could just have a sign announcing the contests, and I'm not sure who would, like Mary could be a judge. I'm sure there's other people who could be good judges of
Yeah,
that.
I mean, if you want to figure out how to develop that to present at the event, then, and then bring that
Yeah.
next month, okay?
Yeah, and we do have a native plant page already that celebrates the garden that's been established and has, on the website, you can miss it, but if you scroll down past the map of the garden, at the bottom, there is information on different native plants that are featured in the garden with some guidance on where they will work best. So that could be a QR code to include and feature.
Okay.
I think that was it.
And Susan, are you going to talk at all about the beach cleanup? Because that's a big,
Yeah, so we'll
What do
have
you
I'll get other people from the beach cleanup and we'll have our own table. We present, we have done things at different events, so we've got a setup ready. But we do have room to incorporate other related topics. So ours is a little bit more just all about the beach cleanup, but I'm glad to incorporate other
Are we
content
like the
in there.
committee having more than one table? Like, or more than one booth?
I think we're gonna need it.
Yeah.
I think we have one,
We have one.
we have a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
We're not done.
I feel like the native plants, there's a lot of native plant stuff, but sounds like there's already a native plant booth. Can we just let them do the native plants or maybe help them? Because if they have a whole booth dedicated to native plants already and we're doing native plants and we're right next door,
I agree.
it seems like a lot of native plants.
It's redundant.
We-
What we could do is, so Charlotte's idea was to create a small guide about local pollinators. So, what could be, and I know Charlene has a presentation specifically on the pollinators and the plants that they love. And I don't know that the Native Plant Society will necessarily have anything like that, but if you could you mentioned about maybe doing that, maybe
Yeah, I could absolutely
do something something visual where we would have pictures of the plant and then the type of pollinator that likes that particular
Would it be more of
plant.
like a signage thing or like something to print out and hand out to people?
I think it would just be something.
Like a sign?
sign that we
Yeah.
could just have. I don't think we want to do a lot of handouts, do we?
Right, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we want to keep it as small of a paper footprint as
Okay, yeah.
possible. But yeah, a nice sign that we could, or poster, I should really make, more of a poster with pictures of the native plants and the type of pollinators that like those particular plants.
Yeah, I can work on that.
And that would be something that we could, that's related to, but not the same as having plants and things there.
I mean, I feel like we should, and I would imagine there's space for us to have more than one table, and I feel like we'll be able to fill it pretty
Definitely.
easily.
I mean, I
So-
think we're good. We have, it's kind of like, it's like a 10-foot by, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7-foot area is what we will have.
I think we could probably do 2.
Can we
Would
just
be my thought.
I mean, if cleanup crew's gonna be there, you could do a lot there. I'm really agnostic. It just seems like a lot of the things we're being proposed are already, we have booths. If the turtle team's there, if the
And we-
plants are there, if
We don't need if the turtle team's gonna be there, then we don't need to have anything extra on turtles.
if the cleanup crew's there, there's, you could do the Mujeres thing, feature that too. I mean, there's just the pollinators,
And I don't know that we'll do the Maharis Latina. Well, I guess we could
it-
highlight the toy bin. Yeah,
Everything we're
that's
talking about
true.
just seems to, it links up really well with the cleanup crew.
Yeah,
And-
but we're also talking about composting and septic tanks and about 3 or 4 other things.
And
I
those,
just,
those don't really bundle up with the other neighboring displays
Yeah, they
though. So
don't,
we
right.
could, I think maybe there's some coordination, like with the South Carolina Native Plant Society. Here are the things the Environmental Advisory Committee was considering. Are you guys
Yeah.
covering this? And if you are,
well, I mean, we could have a sign that does the city initiatives, which would be
the Native
the
Garden.
plugs, the native garden,
Yeah.
native trees, and do kind of a poster with the city things and QR codes, and the contest. So we could do that without too much space and have it adjacent to the next door.
So you'd have pollinators, septic, the dune preservation,
And I'll have the mosquito dunk,
the mosquito dunk.
and that ties in with the natural organic products. to
And
be
then
used.
composting.
And composting.
Yeah, I
think you could
put on the
probably do that.
list, the duty calls, the kind of a promotion of the water sample, the results of that, and then the initiative we're doing
Yeah.
on Waterway.
Are we going to have, what is the status with the duty calls? Are those being ordered, Robert, or?
I think we're the 10 that are going on Waterway Boulevard, is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, we're waiting till the project is complete there. And then
Oh,
we'll
that's
put it
right.
out.
That's
Yeah, I
right.
made contact with him, he's aware of it.
So my thought was we
Would it
would
be
get
July.
possible to have one of the duty calls, actual stands with so that we could
Yeah,
bring to the
I got one in
event?
the truck, so that's not-
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then that's good. All right.
Later on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
What about on the beach? Where are you with possibly adding the,
I'm
Dog
adding
waste
one
stations.
at 23rd and one down in the 50s, actually.
will they be in place
Yeah, he's
soon?
ordered them.
I mean, I think the bigger issue is education about getting dog owners to properly dispose of their
That's where I thought
dog
the
waste.
primary
And
message was, we
the-
did water testing. The
Yeah.
primary outcome was that we've got a dog waste problem.
Yes.
And so we will be installing these to, supplement what's across the island, but just making people aware of the issue.
I think too, we have an opportunity at the Paws Music, Isle of Paws Music Fest to maybe reach our target audience there. And I'd be willing to go and do a booth just on dog waste there. And the same, like repeat, it's a couple weeks later, but we could
We could use the
repeat.
container, because you probably don't need it. 'cause
Yeah, that's the only thing. We might want to tape it closed since it's going to be right there at the,
I mean, I'm
For
starting
display
to take
only.
pictures of dog waste bags that are left behind in places they're not supposed to as well,
all
so,
over the place.
Yes.
yeah. So we could do a whole poster on that.
And I do want to include Charlotte's idea of the microplastics and the nurdles. Yeah. And she's, set up a magnifying glass
Nice.
with samples of sand and soil and encourage visitors to spot the tiny colorful plastic fibers and particles.
That really would be
So
great.
I think that,
We used to do that in science class, and that really opened our eyes to because we're eating this stuff all the time.
yeah. And it's not just, and the turtles and the fish and the
Yeah.
birds and,
Yeah.
Yeah, they open them up and their bellies are filled with them.
And
Yeah.
Tammy did encourage some hands-on activities to get people
Yeah,
engaged.
so I definitely,
Okay.
would like you to do that, and then the pollinator on the plant type of,
That's fine, okay.
yeah.
So for the booth, it's dog waste, pollinators, mosquito dunk, the dunes, composting, microplastics.
And septic.
septic
septic.
health.
I mean, if
The
we have to
native plant
choose,
campaign. Like we talked about, did you say that, Eric? The
Huh?
native plant contest?
Yeah, I mean, I would almost say if it's native plants, we should coordinate with the booth who's only going to do native plants and just have them have a sign-up sheet. I mean, I think they're right next to us.
They are
So-
going to be right next to us.
So it's like, I think we've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things that.
I have 13 on my list. That's why I was just confirming. But like the glyphosate, are we doing something with that one too? Was that
Yeah,
on the
well,
list?
that's going to tie in with the pollinators and also the
Mosquito
the
dunk.
gardens, the native gardens. So,
So pollinators / glyphosate?
and native gardens, it's all,
And mosquito dunk.
and mosquito dunk, yeah.
But I think if we're doing a contest with the native plantings, that you might need to have more than one venue for people to sign up for it. Because, I mean, people might not be ready
Oh,
to
yeah.
commit.
Well,
on
we
a
could
day
definitely
and
play
then-
it up on social.
Yes.
I think you have the ability to capture a good chunk of the island on social and through news media, the local papers. So I don't think we'll have any. Yeah, I agree. You don't want to just have the sign up there. That would be not enough, but we could launch it there.
So just to go back to our sand fencing question, Stephen has let me know that our permit actually includes sand fencing and vegetation for the entire distance of the city's project. So that's the two erosional areas would be already under permit. He said that the city's project would include vegetation. He recommends that it includes sand fencing at a handful of very key places, not kind of project-wide for the reasons we talked about. So there would be a permit available to anybody who wanted to do it.
But that would not be funded by the city. That would be
Correct.
recommended.
Tack on to what you're doing.
That's correct. There'd be a permit for
And
it
not just in that area.
in the project area.
Which is what?
It's really all of Wild Dunes
Uh-huh.
and the entire area south of the pier. So it's the kind of two
Yeah.
ends of the island. And then Deborah has confirmed that we have ordered a lot of compost bins, so we should have a lot of bins
Okay.
available.
Okay.
How
That's
long,
great.
how long is the permit valid? Once you've completed the contracted work, how much more time do residents have to do anything?
That's a follow-up question. I'll have
Okay.
to get that.
Okay.
I don't know off the
Okay.
top of my head.
Okay.
I wanted to, all right, so I think we have,
Is there any other topics that people are?
do you have
Want to
any?
include?
Was
No.
there anything else?
Dog waste, pollinators, glyphosate, native gardens, mosquito dunk, the dunes, composting microplastics, septic,
Leave no trace.
leave no trace. Can leave no trace be in the cleanup crew?
Yep.
We can kind of cover that there.
Piggyback with, yeah, with
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
So,
And I do think that is a good messaging now that the trash cans have been pulled. A lot of them are going to be at the roadside. I think the messaging needs to be, yeah, leave no trace, take your trash home. The system can't handle it. And when that happens, the trash becomes litter and pollution. I know it's a nice convenience for people to have a lot of trash cans all around them. But the flip side is that makes it so that a lot of that stuff comes back out. And we have overflowing trash cans. We just, as Robert said, after this weekend,
I did confirm though, they forgot. to
Yeah,
compost,
last
too.
weekend was nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Because I was taking trash from the beach down to the trash can by the street because people were just leaving it in
Yeah,
the sand.
so I've been assured that they're gonna make sure, and we are on once a week trash pickup. April it goes to 3 times a week, then Memorial Day to Labor Day goes every single day that they pick up. So it was a beautiful weekend, but those.
But they also just straight missed it. They should have had it.
Those two
Oh,
days,
okay.
so.
yeah.
And
And I think people want to do the right thing. And like some of the people that were leaving stuff by the trash can had bundled it nicely. but to like remind them there's trash cans at the street that they could also take it to, or they can take it home.
Concerning, they just put it in the sand. You're saying there were just piles
Down
out
by,
on the
Oh, I
beach?
it was
hate
down by
that.
the trash can. No, it wasn't on the beach. It was down by the trash
I
can.
thought you were saying, because there was no trash can, they just put it there, but they
But
put it
no.
by the trash.
Although sometimes they do, for whatever unknown reason, just dig a hole and throw their cans and stuff in.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, yes,
Cindy,
it happens.
what about the Wild Dunes Way and our version of it for Isle Palms that you were working on?
We kind of dropped that for a little while.
Yeah.
Because I think, how far along is it?
We're populating the information, right? We're looking at other communities and then also reconciling Wild Dunes with Isle of Palms, because a lot of it's done and it was based on Isle of Palms, so.
Right.
I don't think it's a ton of work.
I'm just wondering if we could have just a QR. Do you think you would have it done by May?
And while we don't want to do a lot of printing, I do think it might not be bad to have like a bookmark or something with the QR codes for somebody to walk
That would be-
away with.
Yeah, that would be great. But do you think you'll have it done by May? By the time the,
You've done a lot, you've done more, I got kind of sidelined.
I think
with
so.
Wild Dunes.
I think we can get it done. Yeah. What's the date of the thing? I don't have
May
it.
7th.
And do we have a name, we all agreed on the Palm Path?
Well, I thought we were gonna, that was the
We were
open
gonna think
item.
about some branding, so there's still a lot
I
of
think we were
outstanding
gonna
stuff.
work with our chief information officer and I thought there was some marketing firm that we could use or something to kind of confirm this. I don't remember. Where did we leave it?
We just worked on content.
Yeah, I think we
But in
decided we were
terms of
just gonna do
branding and
content.
Wrapper and
Yeah.
delivery, we haven't.
So I don't know if that could be done by May. If we have the content and it's ready to go, who could, confirm a logo, the branding around it and make it pretty? Who would do that?
I thought we had kind of talked about a logo, though.
We did. We came up with one on like
Was it Palm
ChatGPT.
Path, was it?
Yeah.
But we just, now that we have somebody
But
that's
it's like
on
a
staff
palm
that
tree.
does
turtle
this.
going down the
Yeah,
path.
it was the turtle.
Well, we have staff and we happen to be out, we are requesting proposals now for a branding exercise, citywide.
Yeah.
Family-friendly branding.
Yeah,
I don't know that it, I don't think the RFP specifically contemplated this, but it is
it could be.
very
an-
likely there will be a branding firm under contract with the city
Yeah.
in the very near
So
future
they-
that would be working with the staff.
So they could confirm this is good, or let's change it because our look and our feel is different colors or whatever. This is what we should go
The
with.
idea was that we would have something that would be kind of universal
Right.
across the whole city, so
Yes.
basically, if y'all got this done and you just use a ChatGPT logo for now, once we get
They could redo
the
it.
greater city branding, you just switch out the logo.
Yeah.
Kind of fonts and
That's the
palettes and all
idea
that
was
stuff
that-
could
yeah,
go.
that
Okay.
that we would have, everywhere you went on our website. you
And,
would
and
have that
these
same-
are supposed to match up. I mean, Caitlin just tried to match up with the city's website and then the logo.
We might be changing that.
That's
But
right.
that's a good example
Yeah.
of what
Yeah,
what would happen is they would kind of set the font and
Yeah.
palette, and look and feel.
I think we can do the content. We just thought
Oh,
there were
yeah.
lots of other things that were out of our control, so
Mhm.
it just kind of slowed. down.
content's 90% there.
Yeah.
Well, we could, again, it could be something that could just be displayed. It doesn't have to be handed out at this point.
Yeah.
But just, again, to let people know that this is coming soon
Yeah.
to a website near you.
And the Palm Path, is that,
Yeah, I
Agreeable,
think
okay.
with the turtles, yeah, the turtle tracks, yeah, I thought that was really cool. And speaking of branding, so we did agree that the only thing we really wanted to do for signage for our space was to do a banner for the table, a 28-inch by 6-foot. And I just pulled this, I don't have this part of the logo, but I just pulled this, and we could do have the logo like here, and this is from the website, and then this is the font that was used for, I think it's an Arial font. But I wanted to find out if we wanted, because I would need
Joshua?
Josh to, he was gonna, I think you were emailing me logos and things, so that I could take it to Sign Design and have the banner for the table made. If we are okay with something like this, or do we wanna?
Think it looks good?
So,
I don't think it needs to be, there's gonna be a lot of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
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 That's fine.
I don't want anything too busy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's
Right,
good.
and just like a
Straightforward.
white,
Yep.
But you can use
Yeah.
at different events, like it has a
yeah, and
lot
then
to
we
it.
can use it at the farmer's market,
Yeah.
and if you do the pause in the park type thing.
Yeah, I mean, you might ask, white might get dirty. It's the only thing.
They might have a blue that's similar to the blue that's on our website, on the
It's
IOP
usually
website.
cheaper if it's a white background, but,
Is it?
Not necessarily.
No? okay.
I can ask. So it was $162 plus tax, and that included the design and the graphics
Okay.
and printing. So again, Douglas, for something like that,
That's within a amount we can just approve.
and I would have you
Yep,
work
send me
directly
an,
with,
yep, send me
like
either
a
an
PO.
invoice,
yeah,
yeah, PO
okay,
or an
purchase
invoice.
order. Okay, all right.
I do think, and I don't know the sign company that Amy uses. We do have an account with one of the sign,
Sign design is one of the.
Yeah, she mentioned that she's done a lot of work with
and
the
she may
city.
already have an account.
And
with
that's
us.
why she was gonna give us a discount, because she's
Okay.
already, and she does a ton of work with the rec center too.
Yeah.
And she was gonna give us a discount.
We know it's $162?
Yeah,
If
that
you
was
could send that to
plus
me,
tax.
I'll get it into the system and
Okay.
then she can just,
All right.
bill us.
Okay, and I can go over and meet with her, tomorrow. All right. Okay. So Eric, what do you wanna work on?
Whatever folks need me to do, there's a lot of stuff, so you can assign me some stuff to help with, I mean, there's.
Okay.
You did a lot on the glyphosate.
Yeah, I was thinking,
Yeah, I mean,
do you wanna coordinate with Blair Amon on that? Getting the information together?
to,
She was gonna provide, she's got a ton of research that she's done, and we don't necessarily need all of it, but like creating some kind of bullet point.
glyphosate's a very hot button issue, that's my only concern. You're gonna get
That's why
people,
we passed it
yeah.
to you.
I mean, Eric was, just for the record, Eric was the one that said, we might not want to go there.
No, I
I'm
know.
So
just
he might
saying-
not be the champion of glyphosate.
I'm just saying, like, it is
We
a,
can't
it is
force it on
a, it is a hot issue, and I don't want people to come and
Politicized.
become a political
Right.
debate at this event. And knowing the passions that are involved on, even locally, there's a risk of that. So I'll flag that. So I can, and I'm, fairly agnostic after going very deep on this issue and
Yeah,
talking
you
to
did.
both sides of it.
Mhm.
Can you go at it from a more positive, here alternatives?
That's what I was
to
gonna say.
consider?
Can we just make them aware of the organic options that are available?
Sure.
Instead of saying, don't use
Don't use glyphosate, but-
glyphosate, say, here are some,
Here's some,
Sure, yeah.
maybe just
City-
come up with a list.
EAC recommended that the city stop using it. City has stopped using it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are kind of nudges that
Sure.
aren't hard. and
yeah,
fast.
and let them know that,
Yep. And what, like, you're looking for like a poster?
yeah.
Sure, done.
So I haven't done a poster in like 50 years, so how do we do these posters?
Crayons,
Does
markers.
anyone have an 8-year-old that you can lend me?
I have many children that can help with that.
Okay.
Many children.
Well, and Walgreens is great for the thick poster board.
Yep,
Where you
And-
just send it to them and it's pretty cheap
okay.
for them
Yeah.
to print it.
Oh,
And you can make
really?
it-
Oh,
You can design it with
okay.
them and everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh,
Okay. It has been a long
Um,
time.
The
Staples?
Thank you. They do it also.
Staples does it
Okay.
also.
Staples does it also.
That's
So
where
you
I,
design it and they print it out?
Yeah, and they can give you templates or
Cool.
you can do your own.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, we all could probably use a little bit of a budget for that, though, so, I mean, we could,
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on how big you're going, but I think they cost about $25.
At the most, because a lot of times they've got coupons or promotions.
Yeah.
Where you get it for like half off.
What's, should we, since there's gonna be a lot of posters, what size are we thinking? Should we all have kind of uniform, do we need easels
yeah.
for the posters, probably?
Yeah.
Like, do we wanna,
well, they have them, but, at the sign design, but they're not, I don't think.
We are
those gonna be
outdoors.
Too expensive.
Right?
no, it's,
It's outdoors.
I thought it was indoors. I thought it
No.
was,
Supposed to be
It's
outdoors.
It's outdoors.
So I-
If the
Ah,
weather's
okay.
bad, they're gonna move everybody inside.
So,
Does the city already have some easels?
We do, but I will say those poster
can be-
boards
they-
outside on
they
easels.
blow
yeah,
away.
that's what I was
They
saying.
don't
Probably
really
lay them down.
heights.
Would
The
lay them
ones-
down on the
Lamb.
tables.
so if we're gonna lay them down on the table, what, should we standardize, you know, if we're gonna have
Yeah, because we don't
six
wanna-
posters?
Oh, yeah, it might be
What-
nice to have similar.
It'd probably be good to say, and then we can go to Walgreens and make it very, I mean, go into ChatGPT, say, create a poster, these are the dimensions, and then just send it, and it'll take, you know, you don't have
Well-
to buy the crayons.
And that, so then that begs the question, are we gonna have two tables or are we gonna have one?
I think we need to.
I think we need two.
Or we need a double space, so maybe you have a extra large space that has one table over here, one table over here, and the main table with the banner behind, you know.
Or we're not gonna have a
So
banner.
it's like
We're
a
gonna-
U.
We're just gonna have the banner on the front of the
We had planned on having a table in front with
In
a
the front.
banner on the front of the table, is what we
Okay.
talked about, but.
Yeah.
Or
But-
maybe it's a backwards U.
Let me ask you a logistical question. There's 8 of us on
Mm-hmm.
the committee. Are all 8 of us going to be standing in this 10 by 10 booth with 3 tables? Like, I don't know that that's logistically going to happen.
Well, what we can do is rotate around, is we can have, three at a time at the table and then rotate out.
I mean, there can be people at the, you know, turtle team, at the native plants thing, at the cleanup crew, I mean, you
Yeah.
can.
I guess what, on my mind, the whole point is for us to have a presence at this event. I
Yeah.
don't feel like we should be trying to squeeze in. I think if there's space for us, we should, and we've got a lot of stuff to share, that we should use it and make a presence instead of squeezing. That's my thought.
So how many people do you think we need to have there?
I mean, what, if we're all there, I mean, I think it'd be nice if everybody was there. And yeah, maybe we rotate through, but people are with their content area
Yeah,
and answering
yeah,
questions
yeah.
and engaging. I mean, my experience in doing this for the cleanup crew is that I've gotten to the point where I'm engaging people. I'm as they're walking by, I'm like, hey, have you heard about the cleanup crew? And they're like, either yes, or they walk on by, or they're like, no, I haven't. Tell me all about it. But you got to kind of
Yeah.
have people sucking them in, or they may just walk on by.
Well,
Some
that-
may stop, but some.
That was my experience too at the farmer's market. And other events that I've participated in with the Master Naturalist program that I'm part of.
Unless you have candy or something that they.
Or, yeah. And we talked about having
candy.
seed, no.
Candy creates stress.
Having seed packets. It's going to be a little bit late in the season, by May but I mean, they can still do it in the fall. They can hang on to them and
I
plant
think
them in
the
the fall.
plagues, if you do the plagues, I don't think you do the seed packets. Because
Okay.
I think people will just misplace them.
All right.
Can I ask a question from the other side of the table? Do you guys feel like 8 is too many, or you feel good about that number of people being present? I didn't hear anybody over here
It's only
say.
2 hours, but I think we can.
Well, we're doing 2
Rotate.
booths or 1 booth. I think that's the first.
That's,
What I could do is let me talk to Tammy tomorrow and find out if we could potentially get at least another half of a space
Okay.
to make our space bigger.
Okay.
Because I don't know where our positioning is also in the scheme of the layout. I do know the Native Plant Society is going to be directly next to us. She confirmed that. So let me find out if we can get
Okay.
a slightly bigger space.
Okay.
And let her know that, because we have a lot of things and we don't want to be cramped.
We could just have like add a table and a table if we're in like a corner.
Yeah.
And still have the tent
And
in
have,
this as the
yeah,
centerpiece.
A
and-
corner position
Yeah.
would be ideal, I think. That would work best.
So what size posters do we want it to create? What's a standard poster size?
So what I'm seeing like at Walgreens for the poster boards, they have like 11 by 14, 16 by 20, and 20 by 30.
What size are these?
I think,
You know, I feel like the
These
tables are 3 by
unusual, like
6.
16 by,
I think those are 11 by 16?
Yeah,
Or 12
yeah.
by, 12 by 16?
12 by 16, something like that.
So what's the middle size you said?
16 by 20.
So why don't we do that? It seems like it's a little bit bigger than that, and
Yep.
And those
16 by
are
20.
$26.99, but then I think there's a coupon.
16 by 20 Walgreens. And you just send them like the
Foam board.
Yeah.
paperboard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Walgreens,
If you could send
paperboard,
us the
16 by
specs.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
I
great.
can do that.
I mean, make sure we're consistent.
How many signs are we gonna have?
Just meet and figure out what we want.
Well, sounds like one on each of the topics, right? I mean, it's dog waste, pollinators,
Do we need a sign for dog waste?
I guess just the sign.
We-
We got the
I
big
think
post.
just, we're gonna have.
We don't
the-
need a
We
sign.
won't need one for that, because we're gonna
Okay.
have the duty calls, actual posts
We're gonna-
there.
But you're not going to have any explanation of what to go
I
with?
think that's where you engage with people and
That's
talk
Yeah.
about
what you're
it.
gonna just engage, like, same thing with my mosquito dunk. I just have it out. I do have some information
It's an
about it,
interactive display, Susan.
but it's an interactive
dress
display.
like
You
a
put your-
dog.
You can
So
put your
you'll-
hand in it, and you can take bags out of it.
So you'll have a pollinators one, a weed killer one, the sign-up's not, so that's 2, mosquito dunk,
Do you
probably
wanna-
one for the dunes.
Yeah, for sure.
One for microplastics will be like a thing, and then,
Yeah, we're
so,
gonna do
and then
it.
septic, right?
Right,
You
So
want one
4.
for the pollinators?
Yeah.
yeah, the one for the
And
pollinators,
then-
yeah,
So I'll work on both of those?
yeah.
Okay.
So one, should I do one for native trees, native plants?
If we have, I would see what they're gonna do next door, because they're, I mean,
Well, to do the components that we're discussing, the giveaway, I mean, at the very least, we need to be promoting the native tree guide.
That's
with
fine.
this-
sure.
Yeah.
I don't think we can have too many, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, and I could incorporate with that a QR code for the native plant page as well, and the contest. I could try and get all that into one.
Okay. All right.
Was there anything you guys were doing that would require a sign?
I think
They're
they
gonna,
have plants
the
on beach.
marshes,
Just
the
an
marshes,
educational,
the
yeah.
marsh information, yeah, the plantings for the marsh, or,
The dunes.
the
The
dunes, the dunes, but I think marsh is still also a possibility, like I know, because I know a lot of, areas are doing, they get volunteers together to plant Spartina grass for the marshes,
So we can include that.
yeah.
So you're doing is that the same thing as dunes?
No, it would be slightly
It could be
different,
the same though.
but
Resilience.
it's resilient.
Yeah, resilience, dealing with rising sea
Yeah.
levels.
Yeah,
And then maybe that's close to the salt marsh. If you wind up promoting the Spartina, it could be close to the
Yeah.
salt marsh display.
and she's gonna have those for this, and she's already gonna bring
Yeah.
those, so.
Well,
those-
yeah.
Yeah.
Laminated printouts.
Yeah, laminated printouts, okay.
Do you have a question?
And we're
Alright.
mentioning the wood fence, correct?
The
The,
stand
The wood
fencing?
fencing?
yeah,
Okay. And if we need clarification on that, Douglas, we come to you. As
On-
far as permits, what's available, what the key spots are, anything along those lines?
Yes, I'm actually gonna send everybody the how to build a dune kind of specs from the state. And, yeah, I can answer questions about where it's currently covered and where it's not
Okay.
by permit.
So if you're within the permit, you can build your own dunes,
Build your own fence.
own fence.
build your own fence.
I don't know why you're sending us how to build a dune. Okay.
I'm sorry, the fence, it's called how to build a dune.
Yeah.
But the way you do that is you put your fence in.
Oh,
It
and
collects the,
it collects
collects
it.
the, yeah, that is confusing.
And it goes into like the diagonal shape and all
Yep,
that good
Yeah.
stuff
yep,
as far.
yep, how to shape it.
Should a component of that be how to what you do to avoid the fencing becoming trash.
Trash.
Like some
And-
proactive,
Like where placement is
Yeah, that I think is,
critical and.
that I think is kind of the art of it, that I don't know
Okay.
that the layperson, yeah, I can't tell you where, this is where it would be great, this is where it wouldn't be
Yeah.
great. You don't want the dune too far, so there is a part of it, and it's kind of, I guess, why we haven't gone kind of wild with constructing fences that is a little bit more art than science.
But you could watch it, and if you didn't do it right, you could take it down before it becomes a problem, or.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
that
guess.
would really be it,
Dynamic
like,
thing.
Right, or just an encouragement to maybe take it down if it's not, I mean,
If
you
it's
can
not
go in
working.
Wild Dunes up by, and there's fence all around,
Was.
or
Was.
it's down,
It's a good thing to
down the
try.
fence.
Okay. Does everybody have a clear path forward for next meeting to be able to?
Are we all trying to bring our poster boards to
At
the
least,
next
yeah, at
meeting?
least a mock-up or, I think as much of it to be done by then so that we can all see, and if there's any tweaks, then we still have time, because we won't, again, the expo will be the Thursday before our May meeting, so that will be the time next month to see what we all have, if anybody has advice or tweaks, and then go off and finalize it and be ready to bring it to the expo
So it's
on May.
one board, because that's a lot of content for one board. So just try to get it
Yeah,
down to one board.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you wanted to do, if you can do it on one board, yeah, yeah.
Should we be trying to include environmental advisory committee, like, just in our board, somewhere to have a common link with our stuff, or,
Like just the name.
yeah, just,
Yeah.
and, just kind of like City of Isle of Palms is on here. Just
Yeah, just, yeah, at the top, yeah.
Not really a prominent,
No,
but
it can just be, you
Yeah.
know, just,
maybe we could all
Yeah.
go with this, if you want to share that.
yeah.
Yeah, if you could share that font with us, Laura, via email.
It's Arial, Arial, Arial font. This, for the Environmental Advisory Committee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what
Yeah,
but that would be what we could use, is the Arial font, and whatever size is appropriate for your sign. It doesn't have to be huge. I made this big enough that you all could see it. This would be, and, because that'll be for the banner or the table runner, if you want to call it that.
All right, so just to confirm, we're just putting Environmental Advisory Committee
Right.
on our sign,
Yeah.
on our poster.
Yeah.
I guess, or we
Okay.
could we put the logo with it? Small, logo, or no?
This,
Yeah, or just, yeah. I mean, like, small logo next, I don't know, that's fine. Yeah, Environmental Advisory Committee.
I'll have both. Josh was going to send me both. He actually sent me this one, and then I had pulled, which I didn't, it was before I
I
got
have a
here.
suggestion. Can we create a template and pass it out to
Yes,
everybody that
that
just
would be
says,
helpful.
use this as your sort of your general
Yeah,
format? And
yes.
then everybody just drop content into that?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll have
Okay.
Josh.
That's a
that
great
way-
idea.
I'll-
Yeah.
That way we have the right placement of the
Yeah.
EDC and all
It
of
looks
that.
uniform.
Yes.
Even as we do our own thing
Yeah.
within
Okay.
that template.
All right. Do we need to work on that, Josh? Or,
Maybe quickly, is that for the label for your table?
yeah,
So so they're thinking through having like 2x2 signs made at Walgreens but providing just a blank template
Yeah.
that kind of has the EAC or maybe City Seal EAC logo as a starting point for each of their posters.
Just on a
So they-
blank piece of paper.
So
Mhm.
it looks kind of uniform. They could add the content to within that document, right?
right.
Yeah.
And then,
But that way we have
And have
that.
it
then
printed
they
out.
have that
So we can
to,
add
for
it.
Walgreens to be able
Yeah.
to actually do the printing.
Or the JPEG, whatever.
I can do that.
Do you have everybody's email, Josh?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
CC it on.
Great, okay.
Should we just submit them to Nicole so that they're all the posters by May or in the packet?
Oh,
A
You mean
PDF.
by April?
Yeah, have a PDF.
Yeah, like have
Yeah.
a deadline, so like we
Yeah.
submit them to Nicole by X date so that they're in the packet and we can just run
See 'em in
through it,
advance.
run
Yeah.
through it in the packet in April, and then it's a call to Walgreens and we
So
print them out.
I'll need it a week before the meeting,
So let's set a
week
deadline.
before.
before the April meeting.
That's better than bringing our physical posters.
Oh, yeah, but we're gonna have a packet anyway, right?
Yeah,
And
sure.
so, and then we can,
Yep.
kind of tweak it and stuff, so.
So we would need.
So do you need it by March the 30th then, Nicole?
Well, you guys, your meeting is the 2nd,
Our
Thursday.
meeting is the 9th.
Right, it's a 9th.
and that's right,
so-
the 9th, and Douglas will not be here.
You can,
You can still forge ahead.
okay.
it's
So you would
spring
need
break.
it no
or-
later
are you
than
gonna be gone?
Thursday, April 2nd,
Yes.
correct?
Right before
Yeah.
Easter.
Okay.
I can email it to, I can email like whatever I need to you, or I can email it to.
Send it to Nicole.
Yeah.
Does that
you
make anybody else?
Yeah.
Is that date a problem for other people who?
April 2nd?
Have kids
Ninth.
that are gonna be out?
Are you gonna be on spring break?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gone that
But you
week.
can just send it to me.
Yeah, as long
Okay.
as long as it's in the
All right.
I can
packet.
send it to, I can send it to you too.
Yeah, send it to me, but, yeah,
Yeah.
and then CC,
Okay.
send it to Nicole and CC me,
Okay.
that'll work,
Yeah.
okay.
So if it's in the packet, then we don't need to be there.
Well, I didn't know if like a lot of
Oh.
people weren't gonna make it to the meeting because
I'm
of
here.
spring break.
I'm not going anywhere.
And so when do you think we can have the template?
Next week?
Okay. 'Cause that'll
Okay.
give us about 2 weeks to get the designs done, which I think is fine.
Cool. Okay,
And you'll just send it out to the template out to the group?
I'll CC everyone.
Cool.
is it okay for him to do that, Nicole? He can.
There's no conversation.
There's no, yeah.
Just don't
he's just
reply
sending-
all.
Yeah, just, yeah, he can send it out to everybody.
Okay.
Okay,
Super.
okay,
All right.
we all set?
Yep.
I think we
There
got
were
a lot done.
Two other older items, I just want to ask a question about them. They're not on the agenda, but Fisher Recycling was one. I didn't know if there's anything we need to talk about that. And then two was, there was some next steps in the lighting ordinance. You had asked me to follow up, it wasn't on the agenda.
Apparently, it has gone through first reading.
Yeah, but we need to have a follow-up discussion in this group.
Okay,
It got kicked back to the EAC.
so it is getting, oh, that's right, you mentioned it's gonna get kicked back.
But I wanted to wait till you guys were done with this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's correct. That issue, and Katie could speak to it, but there was general agreement to get it, there was some divide, I guess, on council. There was a general agreement to give it first reading, but there was agreement, let's have the EAC look at it again.
Yeah,
Wasn't crystal clear to me what tweaks
got
would be
it.
made.
I got it.
You,
Yeah, I
okay.
think so.
Okay, so at a future meeting, we'll talk about that and forward
Yeah.
those recommendations to
And
council.
I wrote,
We can talk about it next month. It should take less than 5 minutes because it's really
Okay.
just going to be a review of a rewording and then submit again.
and
think
I
so.
wrote the article on the, I wrote an article about Fisher Glass, and that was printed in the Island Eye it was in last Friday's
Yeah.
issue.
And Josh put it on the Facebook
And,
page too.
yeah, however, we have a citizen that has decided he would like to pay to reinstate the program.
Yep, that's correct.
Hooray.
Cool.
Interesting.
So,
Everybody wins.
it looks like it's going to be reinstated. If he was going to talk directly to Elizabeth about it. And I also did send my, the edited water quality testing write-up to both the Island Eye and the Island Vibes. And I got confirmation from Laura Fogarty that she's going to be able to do her little article and about, which is kind of a fun little, hey, people, let's do a better job of cleaning up
To
after
be
our
frank.
pets. To be frank, that's her dog's name. So she's going to be able to write up a little thing in her To Be Frank column, and I sent the article to Zach, who's the editor, and he got that yesterday, and I also sent it to Lynn, and I have to make sure Christian gets it as well. I don't know, the Island Eye might go to a monthly as well now, but I'm not, Lynn is still trying to decide what he wants to do, So it may be the end of the month, the second, because it normally comes out twice a month. If not, it'll also be in their April issue.
So, when will Fisher have the bins back?
I don't know.
I think they were gonna try to work it out maybe
Yes.
tomorrow, which
Because I've seen crates or cartons of
Oh,
bottles.
yeah.
In that
Sitting there.
area where the bins were.
Yeah.
They were
I think it'll be
storing
very
stuff
quick.
there.
I think they work it out tomorrow and would be almost instantly back.
And so you'll need to let people know.
Yeah.
So now my article is
Yeah.
obsolete.
Yeah, so city will,
Thank you to an anonymous donor.
yeah.
Thanks to an
Oh, is it
anonymous.
anonymous?
No, I don't think so.
He hasn't requested that it
He
be
hasn't
anonymous.
requested that it be
Oh,
anonymous.
I thought he had that in his note.
I don't know.
Does the city need to extend like an additional insurance status to him?
No, we're gonna, we're gonna let them
Deal.
work, yep.
Do it
They're
out.
gonna be
Yeah, work it
completely
out.
separate from the city.
Is it on city property?
It is in the,
It is.
it's actually in the right of way, that, in, I think both locations.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Yep,
I'll second.
thank you.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thanks,